7 in the morning, mate. 7 in the fucking morning. What the fuck?
Morning guys, this is Button Up Boxer. I'm sure you've all had that realization after a night out that it shouldn't have gone that long. When we got in that little taxi that was probably going to kill us, we were looking at the time and it was 7:30 in the morning. So it was actually 8 when we got back and got to bed. But anyway, moving on. We decided to go to Kopipi, and this is us taking the ferry. This is the next day. We didn't know what we wanted to, like what we were going to expect, but it looked very nice when we got there. It was a very cool landscape. There was lots of people, but it was a really cool spot. And after we checked into the hostel and that, decided to go reggae bar, where we watched a couple people fight. It was quite funny because no one knew how to fight. There was a couple instances where someone had done a lot of training and one hadn't done any, so they just got beaten up. And 2 of our boys ended up fighting, actually. Mehdi and Lorenzo. Now, Mehdi has not done anything, really. He's not done any fights. He's trained for a little bit, but this was his first ever thing ever. And he fought an Australian who was 20 kilos heavier than him. Here's a little photo of that. Yeah, he's quite a bit bigger. But yeah, after this is Lorenzo and his guy he fought. But Lorenzo had done a lot more than this guy, so yeah, it ended up being stopped in the second round. But you know, he was nice in the first round. The other guy just started swinging, so he then took it there. But this is one of the beach bars that we decided to go to afterwards, and by this point we were a little bit hammered. The buckets were flowing, it was all going, you know, we were having a great time.
Non. Ah, les boots de ce soir, c'est trouver un bar pour faire les fêtes. But yeah, what did you know? Where you go?
Yo, we're trying to find a club, but I think these are boats that are flashing.
Yo, that's what I'm telling you, man.
This is the next morning, rolled out of bed, tried to hide the hangover. That was quite difficult. Got the speedboat back to Phuket and took an hour, really good time. When we got back to Phuket, it was Khan's second last night, so we decided to go for dinner. Here's the dinner. Great dinner. Loads of coconuts around and the food was lovely. But the problem was we ended up going to Rawai and going out again. So it didn't quite go to plan. We were meant to come home and not drink for a while, but yeah, this happened. So I've just finished training and I'll tell you one thing, I'm pretty dead today. It was 32 degrees at the highest, and in that, you know, training, doing pads, sparring, you know, it's a lot. Kicking the bag, you know, and then going and doing rep kicks and it's definitely a lot. But you do, you know, you learn so much out here. It's different to back home. Like their control with the legs and distance with the legs is, you learn so much from it. Whilst at home, I would rely on the hands quite a lot. And then if someone was throwing good hands, I'd then switch to the kicks and start relying on the kicks. Here, I'm like trying to learn their ways so then I can use their way as well, you know. But it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm trying, but with these sort of things, it's so difficult to get what they're doing because, you know, they've trained their whole lives in this style. While we've trained in very different styles and we've had nowhere near as much time as them doing it. So it's trying to play catch up, you know. But yeah, I'm as you can tell, I'm struggling a little bit with the voice. We went to PP Island and I just went for the day and a bit. But the boys went there for 2.5 days. They ended up in doing a boat tour and going out a second night and doing all that fun stuff. But the night I was there, we went to the reggae bar where two of our boys fought, Lorenzo and Mehdi. Mehdi fought someone who was 20 kilos heavier than him. 20 kilos? Are you mad? Bruv, that is a lot of weight. That is like a lot of weight. You know? That's crazy. It still baffles me. But he fought someone 20 kilos heavier than him, and they drew. And he did really well. He got caught by like a couple punches, and I could see it kind of wobbled him a little bit. But then he caught him with one guy, and the guy stumbled a little bit. So he did really well. And then Lorenzo, he's been training for a year and a half in Netherlands, and the Dutch are known as some of the best kickboxers in the world. So we knew he would be all right going in there. He was fighting some guy who hadn't fought before, hadn't trained before. So the guy he went against was really like he tried, but he swung a little bit too hard in the first round, and then that set Lorenzo off. Before that, he was being nice, and then he just kind of switched. Like the switch was, he just went for it after that. But yeah, it was good. It was good to watch. Um, we all had a good time. I definitely recommend the reggae bar. It's good fun, and it's not as cheap as some other bits, but it's still cheap. Like you're still paying what for a bucket is like 200 bar, which is like a fiver, not even a fiver or something. And it's a bucket. And if you do fight and you win, you get a bucket. If you win, sorry, you get 2 buckets. If you lose, you just get one. But I definitely recommend it. And reggae, bro. I've got videos I'll show you as well. Um, and yeah, PP Island. It was cool. I thought it was a little bit touristy for me. I'm not sure I'd go there again. I think maybe I missed the side that everyone saw. I don't want to go and be like, oh yeah, I don't like it. I didn't do everything that everyone did. So I'd like to maybe one day I'll go back there and see. Maybe there'll be a whole different side that I missed. So I'll definitely try and go back there at some point. And when I come back to Thailand next year, I'll be seeing loads more different areas, not just Phuket and all these different areas. I'll be going to some Muay Thai camps around. So that's the idea anyway. But yeah, I'll leave you at that in a bit.